Hello everyone, this match was played in the UK Pro League against Luke Johnson, by far the toughest opponent I've come across in my career. He has an ATP singles ranking of around 700 ATP and a career high doubles of top 300 in the world. He was nothing like any junior I've played before. He had a massive forehand with lots of topspin, a solid serve, and it was really tough for me to win any points, but I tried to hang in there. Thank you also to the commentary from Abigail Johnson during the match, and without further ado, I hope you enjoy.
Kicking off with this one, the teenager on your screen, Felix Mischker, making his UK Pro League debut this week as he faces a challenge in the highest ranked player in the men's draw, Luke Johnson, from Leeds originally, the 27-year-old. Current ATP singles ranking of 658, not far off his career high of 643, which was achieved in August. Luke Johnson taking on Felix Mischker. Well, for some viewers, Felix Mischker might have a familiar face. Bit of an internet sensation, this guy. He and his brother Lucien form the Tennis Brothers, have a successful YouTube channel. $38,000 followers on Instagram, 27,000 subscribers approximately on YouTube, over 9 million views across their videos on that channel, where they take their subscribers on the journey, their tennis journey, show them the matches that they're competing in, give analysis and advice and commentary on tennis. And looking to do the right things out here, Mischker, but Johnson is going to put the pressure on. He has the experience, he has the big strikes off the ground. And his opponent's consistency is going to be tested. So early breakpoint chances for Luke Johnson. Just missed. Forcing his opponent to be creative there, Johnson, but not giving him the space to play with. Rushed behind the return. And it is the opening break for the 27-year-old. Yeah, you'll see a lot of that. It was great play by Mischker, dipping that ball to the feet of Johnson, made him play a really difficult half volley, emphatically followed up. That'll give him a boost at the beginning of this return game. Good intensity, looking to lock back in early. And Mischker will have to try and take advantage of every second serve that comes his way, because you're seeing already the potency of the first delivery of Johnson. This is good body language from Mischker early on. He knows that he's by far the less experienced player out here. But he doesn't want to give his opponent any negativity to feed off. There will be that pressure just to over-press, though. Johnson, if you recall, that point to close the break to open, rushed behind the return. And so Mischker is mixing up his spots nicely here. That one into the body of Johnson. It's a good idea if his opponent is looking to attack from the offset. It just jams him. And it's the first game on the board for 18-year-old Felix Mischker. Always going to be tough kicking things off, but he settles into this match. And he's keeping the spring in his step and the energy about him in what could be a way to go in this match. Very recently contested his first British tour, Felix Mischker, although he's competing here at Pro League for the first time. Started out as a qualifier, went all the way to the final. Only just missed out there. So he has the confidence from match play. Johnson looking to keep the early break advantage. Well, that wasn't far off. Mischker has been making some of the right moves. He needs to make sure that he's not put off by narrow misses. We'll be aware that Johnson will look to move in quickly behind the serve. Deep in the corner. That's nicely done. The task is going to be stringing those kind of points together for Mischker, because Johnson has the more firepower out here. But he's getting the hang of dipping that ball when Johnson's in the forecourt. Trying to keep his foot down here, Mischker, but Johnson making a point of getting himself inside that baseline on the return. Scoreboard pressure starting to weigh with the court pressure of his opponent. Absolute rocket down the line from Johnson, swung his momentum on the run into that shot. Mischker's trying a range of things out here. He's countered, he's backed himself up the court, but Johnson is still finding a strike zone, so it is double break point for the double break. That's well responded. That serve has to be so precise to stop Johnson capitalizing early. He had to guess there, went the wrong way. And good for Mischker, was not distracted by that. His focus there, you can see, firmly on the ball. So it is the double break for Luke Johnson. Just keeping himself nice and level out here. I feel like he's playing within himself at the moment. He's got good control. Mischker's job out here is to try and unsettle him. But at the moment, he hasn't quite found a weak spot. Needs to make sure that from here on out his first serve percentage is pretty high. But first and foremost, take a swing at this return game, see what he can do to be consolidated. Mischker making to look his presence known here. And we've started to see more of that from him, dipping the ball shorter, just to make the put away in the forecourt more difficult for Johnson. Good first point. Great play. Starting to take this ball earlier, Mischker. That was a bullet of his own down the line. And the energy has stayed the same throughout this set, despite the scoreboard. The weapon of the big serve. It's one of those things that you can't really prepare for until it's right there in front of you. So much time taken away from Mischker. Oh, hello, how about that? Flick of the wrist, finds the corner. Right over the top of the ball. What a way to get to deuce. Can that point impact deeper into the game? Now the Luke Johnson first serve has the final say. Mischker did well to take advantage of the second delivery when it came, but it wasn't often enough. So Luke Johnson 1 game away from this opening set and looking pretty comfortable on his home courts. Double faults are understandable. From the very first game of this match, Johnson has made his intentions known behind the serve. And so razor sharp placement like that is a must. So he does get another hold on the board. Felix Mischker still going after this set, not counting himself out. But it is on the racket of Luke Johnson. Knows that if he needs it, he'll have a couple of chances to put this set to bed. Well, Felix Mischker off in the direction of university. That is a route that Luke Johnson has already trodden. He actually went out to the States for a while and played college tennis. That has been on the ITF circuit, Luke Johnson, for a good number of years now. So it's not a wonder that he's comfortable in the forecourt, Johnson. Unavoidable on that doubles court, which makes it great practice for singles. And it's a discipline that he takes seriously in its own right. He's already won 2 titles on the ITF circuit in doubles this season. In fact, he's won at least 1 trophy on the doubles court on the ITF circuit every year since 2017. Record for the year was 5 trophies netted in 2019. 3 on hard courts, 2 on clay. Not a lot of reaction time on that bullet down the tee. Luke Johnson a couple of points away from guaranteeing himself his first point of the week. Once again, he finds the placement, Mischker, at the feet of Johnson. But the serving quality of his opponent has been such that he hasn't been able to read it quickly enough to land that kind of shot consistently. Johnson still looking to make it tough, still a set point on the board. And there it is, one final forehand winner, and Luke Johnson does have his first set of the week at the UK Pro League. So a point in the group guaranteed for him, however the rest of this match goes. Kept his cool, kept his focus, asserted his authority from the get-go. And that can be tough when you walk into a clash that you're expected to win, when you have overwhelmingly the more experience to date. There's a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and he has handled it so far. 75% of those first serve points won. And up against the intensity of Johnson, who's been taking the ball early, Mischker probably wants to land a few more first serves, winning just 37% of his second serve points, a full 25% below the numbers that Johnson has behind his second serve. So he served it out, Luke Johnson, meaning that Felix Mischker can start this second serve on his own racket with the experience that he picked up from that opening set. He's got his bearings now. If he can find a way to come out on top in this second set, a 10-point match tiebreak would decide the outcome. Again, Johnson slaps down on that return, so Mischker's having to lift up the back. Johnson's already blocking the space. He's just being rushed out here. And that placement into the corner is just too good. So in the opening game of the second set, double break point for Luke Johnson. Well, he backed himself, Mischker, but Johnson is just timing the ball so well out here. Kept that backhand low, and he continues his momentum from the opening set. Looking to consolidate after this changeover. Serve and volley on the first point of the game. That sends a message. He will look to keep these points as swift as possible. The 1-2 has been devastating. Second serve ace for good measure. Well, he's so locked in, Luke Johnson, that he thought the game was over. It's 40 love, but if he keeps his foot down like that and keeps taking the time away from his opponent, there's probably not a lot that he can do. Apart from that, just reminding Johnson that he needs to close down that net ever so quickly. Wins there for Ewan Moore and Alice Gillen, who progressed via retirement against Maddie Brooks. That's a great combination, taking that ball early off the ground. Too solid from Johnson. Just midway through the rally, got an extra bit of whip on the cross-court forehand to pave the way in. Pressing down. That's nice, fluid cross-court. He knows the importance of landing the first serve right now, Mischker, and he's delivering on it. That's good to see. And turning the tables there, giving Johnson a taste of his own medicine, and once again we see him working through his options. Very tactically aware, has to be with the nature of what he does and the insight that he gives to the followers online. Just takes the rhythm from Johnson away there in that game. A little bit of something different with the early charge up the court for the volley, and then the slice, just to ensure that Johnson didn't get a clean strike on the ball. So good moves from Felix Mischker there, staying in touch, getting on the board at the beginning of the second set. So Luke Johnson looking to keep the advantage. stunning highlight. What a turnaround from Felix Mischker. Enjoyed that one. And Johnson has rarely missed from that position in the court, and that ball on the forehand was so deep. Mischker had to scramble for his life. Showed off his athleticism there. Just making that one last ball, Djokovic style. Just starting to warm into this maybe, Mischker, and get used to the pace that's coming from the Johnson racket. It's different to a lot of the styles he would have encountered in juniors. Did what he could there, Mischker. Used the slice to get the ball deep in the court, but Johnson has come out prepared to rifle through these ground strokes. Great drive on the forehand. A couple of times Mischker has looked to make the right moves and attack the return, but the kick on it from Johnson is making it tough to crack down on. So from 30 all, he does hang on to his lead. But Mischker is starting to find a bit of footing in this, giving Johnson a lot of different things to look at. Still being overpowered at times, but hanging with it, staying out here. He's got a great attitude, and that alone can take a player a long way. Brilliantly constructed point, going toe to toe, getting the timing right. Not holding back from stretching Johnson across the court, and then brilliant finish on the volley, going back behind just to ensure his opponent didn't get the racket on it. Asserting himself early in this game. Couple of points there for Mischker, one behind second serves. And Johnson's just lost his rhythm a little bit, but that's encouraging for his opponent. He's keeping Johnson out here, giving himself more time to get right into the thick of this contest. Keeping his foot down in that game, Felix Mischker, showing that he can do a bit of dictating as well. And he does close the gap to just the one game once again. 2 matches still to come on court one. Felix Mischker is looking to try and delay them a little. Freya Christie, top-ranked player in the women's draw, is to take on Katie Stresnakova, and they've had a couple of battles, so that could be a lengthy one, ahead of Billy Harris up against David Quayle to close out the day. So can Mischker take a little bit of momentum and confidence from that game into this one? It may well depend on whether Luke Johnson's first serve percentage drops. He's looking to throw in the extra balls, Mischker, but Johnson is very much dictating when the ball is starting on his racket. From one extreme to another, though. The only point that he dropped in that game, Luke Johnson, was a double fault. So he knows if he keeps up that serving form, he should be away with this. But Felix Mischker has been finding some rhythm on serve, so he's hoping to keep him out here long enough that maybe he just drops off his stride. The 18-year-old looking to close the gap once again. That's well weighted. Didn't panic there, Mischker, as Johnson closed and got in front of him. Precision over power. Now, Johnson has made that move time and again. Mischker still hasn't been able to anticipate it to the point where it's not distracting him. It's tough. Well handled by Mischker. Johnson was starting to launch a comeback and he spread the court to draw the error. And this is a familiar sight. The players heading to the sit-down with just a game between them. Mischker doing well to hang on here and keep things close. It's not a wonder that Felix and his younger brother Lucien went down the social media route when trying to progress their tennis careers and get the relevant funding and following to make it viable. Their dad, Michael Mischker, is a digital marketing executive. They've had a goal to try and make the sport more digital, try and make the fans more involved. And Felix has had a number of ventures. At one point he had a podcast alongside well-known tennis presenter Marcus Buckland, who was just hosting the coverage of the US Open on Amazon Prime Video. Well, there's just been a slight sense in recent moments of Johnson being a tad frustrated that this match isn't over yet. And he's not quite so clinical with his immediate attack, so there's hope for Mischker. Steadying the ship nicely here, Johnson. And that will do. Another unreturned delivery takes him one game away from wrapping up the straight sets win. But as he has done throughout this set, Mischker will look to keep him out here a little longer. It's the right move from the teenager. He has to be careful that the miss there doesn't put him off. If he lingers at the back of the court, Johnson isn't in the mood to hang around. He'll look to put him away. Oh, wow. What a way to set up triple match point. Back edge of the paint. I think he was a bit surprised by that as well. Just took a swipe at it and it paid off. 3 chances to close this out. Well, he went for it on the second serve, Mischker. He backed himself throughout that match, but it was not to be. Luke Johnson takes the straight sets win, his first win of week 7 here at the UK Pro League, rebounding in style from his result yesterday. Felix Mischker for keeping up the intensity and thinking his way through the match throughout, but he, at this point in time, will just not have the regular experience of going up against that kind of serve, that kind of power off the ground. It will come with time, and this whole week is going to be a great experience for him at the UK Pro League. But the big serving numbers, 72% first serves won, 75% of second serve points won for Luke Johnson. Telling the story there, didn't let Mischker get a single break point. He himself able to convert a good number of his opportunities, keeping the pressure on with those rushes behind the return that Mischker just couldn't get used to. So Luke Johnson, top-ranked player in the men's draw, does get the win in straight sets and takes